right, everybody, thanks for joining me today. Today we're looking at menu number 8, Meatballs in Marinara Sauce. This is a menu number 8. This is packaged by MRE. This is the good menu, so let's get into it. And it's hard to get in between these seals here. We got a good seal. It's opening up, and because this is an MRE, it's double bagged. So let's flatten out our MRE bag, place that right there, and let's see what we have here. We have meatballs in marinara. This is the sleeve for it, and this is an 8-ounce main. We also have in this package a cherry blueberry cobbler. So the the marinara with sauce and meatballs is going to be 280 calories. We got 3 grams of fiber, 16 grams of protein, and the cherry blueberry cobbler is going to be 210 calories. It's going to be, lost my place here. It's going to be 2 grams of protein and 40 grams of carbs. And there's our cherry blueberry cobbler. Chocolate chip cookie. That's going to be great. We're going to crush this up, mix it with this, and we're going to have a nice little dessert. This chocolate chip cookie is a 2.1 ounce package, 300 calories. We have 3 grams of protein and 39 grams of carbs. We have a Sterling Food Italian breadsticks. Always a favorite. 200 calories. This is a 2-ounce package. We have protein at 4 grams and carbs at 32 grams. We have the typical accessory package: toilet paper, salt, hand wipe, matches, cinnamon gum. We have a beef stick, just under 1 ounce, 27 grams. This comes in at 100 calories. We have 7 grams of protein and 3 grams of carbs. Then we have a orange beverage powder, no fruit juice. This is 90 calories. Comes in at 23 grams of carbs, 0 grams of protein. Peanut butter. That's becoming a pretty obvious theme in this case of MREs. A lot of times when you expect to see cheese, sometimes they substitute for peanut butter. So don't be mad when you don't get your beloved cheese. And we got our MRE spoon, and we got our Flameless Ration Heater. All right, we're going to plate this up. I'm going to start warming up the main by using the Flameless Ration Heater, and we're going to dig into this. This is a good menu. This one should go pretty quick. Stand by. All right, we're back. Everything's plated up, and let's start with the Flameless Ration Heater. And that's going to take the longest to activate. So we're going to take our salt, and we're going to add it in to the Flameless Ration Heater to kick off the exothermic reaction. Unless you want to really spike your food with more salt, I suggest you do this. And why you would want to take more salt in? Of course, if you're exerting yourself, then definitely you could use the salt. But this main already has 670 milligrams of salt. 29% of it, it's salt. So, you know, do what you want, but having too much salt when you're not exerting it will actually dehydrate you quicker. So we're going to slide our meatballs in marinara. Center the heating pad. Get your cardboard sleeve ready, because these things always seem to bind you up right when you need to use them. right, and then we're going to slide our blueberry cobbler right on the other side of that Flameless Ration Heater. Really, resist the urge to shove it in there with it, because you're not going to do yourself any favors. Most likely it won't activate, and you're going to have two cold mains instead of one warm one and one lukewarm one. We got our rock or something right here. We're just going to place that like that. Our beef stick. You can already hear that taking off. Our orange beverage base, little trick. Fold right on the fill line so you could see it from inside the bag. No guessing on how much liquid you need to pour in there. Go. That's going to sit there like that for a moment. We're going to take our, this is our Italian breadsticks, which you know. There's not much room for it. There we go. That'll catch enough heat from the residual going through the meal, and it will warm up. All right, let's open up our beef stick. Crumble up our chocolate chip cookie. That's going to go fantastic with the blueberry cobbler. There we go. We got everything pretty much crumbled up nicely. Open up our teepee, napkins, whatever you want to use them for. There we go. We got a moist towelette. We got our white tip matches. And our cinnamon chewing gum. Okay, we're going to give that about 10 minutes, and we'll be right back. Stand by. All right, we're back. It's been about almost 15 minutes for this. Let's get our drink opened up. Give it a final shake. All right, and that looks fantastic. Nothing's in the bottom of the container. All right. I threw my peanut butter in the bottom of that FRH because we're going to have something nice planned for it, and I want it to be very runny and watery. Give it a mix up, make sure everything is good, and it feels really good. Breadsticks are nice and warm. Ooh, our cherry cobbler is definitely nice and warm. So let's open that up. Put this on the side. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a little dessert here. Oh, nice mess. There we go. There we go. We got our crushed up cookie. That's all over everything now. Wow, talk about a mess. But it happens. All right. So I'm going to put our cobbler right on top of that crushed up cookie. You see that cookie almost acts like a pie crust. Give a little texture to that cobbler. All right. Give that a little mixing. And that looks absolutely fantastic. I saw on Rock or Something Reviews, he's been dropping a lot of videos lately, and he actually showed a picture of a MRE cookbook, which I'm really interested in checking out. So, let's open up our breadsticks. If you haven't checked out his channel, check him out. He's got a really neat approach on dropping videos. I think it's something new, something different, and check him out. Good reviewer. All right, and for our main. We don't want to get any of that salty liquid on our plate here. So let's grab a couple napkins. The main is nice and warm. Wipe that down. There we go. Clean off our tray from all those crumbs. All right, and let's open this up and check it out. Wow, and that is looking good. Look at that. That looks good. And what we're going to do is we're going to break up these breadsticks and put them right into this. If we had cheese, we can actually just make some cheesy Italian breadsticks, but we don't. We'll save one for the meal. And our peanut butter, we're going to put right on top of this. Boost our protein, our calories. There we go. All right, let's give that a try. That's good with the peanut butter. Okay, we're done with this. We're going to toss it. All right, let's get into it. We have our no fruit juice orange drink. That's always a pleasure. We got our meatballs in marinara sauce with our Italian breadsticks. Some hot sauce would have been really nice with this, but let's try this out. We got some nice peppers in there. I see some onions. I see a nice amount of herbs. I'm probably assuming they're going to be oregano, some Italian seasoning, and that's good. The sauce is very lightly acidic. The meatballs are firm. They have a good chew to them. They have nice flavor. Very pleasant. Very easy to eat. They go very well with the Italian breadsticks. Let's check out our beef stick. Okay, this one looks like it's a little dried out. All right. Had a nice snap to it. Has a nice smoky flavor to it. That has a good flavor to it. Has a good chew. It's not too soft, yet it's not too dry. That's a nice little snack that you could squirrel away for later. This is a nice, easy meal to eat. It doesn't, it's not overcomplicated. Great flavors. This is definitely a morale booster in the field. You don't want to make a meal too complicated, because you have to understand soldiers, if they're in combat, that affects their appetite. So you want something that works well together and that can go down easy and not stress the soldier out even more. If you're just getting into MREs, I would definitely like to say, experience the entire case. What's unique about these MREs is the case A and case B each come with 12 menus. In each one of those cases, I believe 2 of them are vegetarian. So you get a total of 4 menus per A and B case. Total, 2 in A, 2 in B. So people are usually tough on these MREs because of the older C rations, the K rations, the Vietnam era, the Desert Storm era, tan bags. And these MREs really have come a long way. You would not believe the amount of money the U.S. government has invested in menus, shelf-stable food, different components. It's probably the most heavily researched and heavily funded food item probably in the world. I don't know of any food other than beans and rice that you could store away for 10 years. And realistically, 10 years under perfect conditions is nothing for a case of MREs. So, like I was getting back to my original thought, if you're new into MREs, get a case A, get a case B, eat the entire case, and then pass judgment on it. And ask yourself one thing. If I was in a really bad situation, whether it's natural disaster, famine, drought, whatever, some type of disaster, would I be happy having this when I haven't eaten in 3-4 days? And I guarantee you, you would be. Now, granted, it's not top shelf eating. It's not DoorDash. It's not gourmet food. But for what it is actually really remarkable food that you could put something like this away in your basement, and God forbid something happens. You got to leave home because of a natural disaster, hurricane, flood, power outages, ice storms, where you grab a case or 2 of these, you have bottled water already stacked. You grab 2-3 cases of bottled water, you grab your 2 cases of MREs, you grab your family, and you take off. And now you have enough food to sustain you for a week, 2 weeks, depending on how many people you have and your calorie intake. This is actually really remarkable. So I encourage you to buy these, reach out to other YouTubers or myself, leave a comment. I could point you in the right direction to get a decent case. The newer they are, the more expensive they are. But there are plenty of providers out there where you can get a case A and a case B delivered to your house for about $100. And they will store for at least 5 to 8, if not 10 years, if you place them someplace where they will sit without getting affected by sunlight, heat, temperature swings. You don't want to put these in your closet inside your house. A cool, dark place indoors, preferably a basement, and you won't have to worry. This is fantastic. I have friends that use these for camping trips with Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. They grab them as emergency food to keep in their trucks if they're working long shifts and don't have time. So I think they get a bad rap. People complain, oh, they're loaded with sodium. Yeah, well, they also last for 10 years if they're stored right. So you show me what food that can do that. And you're not getting repeat menus. You're getting every single different menu, 24 of them. Some are vegetarian options. Some don't have pork. That's amazing in my book. That really is. That is absolutely divine. Chocolate chip cookie crushed up with an apple blueberry cobbler topped off with peanut butter. Let's get a nice bite of this. This is really decadent. That's very filling too. Also, if you're going to store these for an emergency, the mistake I see a lot of people make is they don't allocate the water necessary for each one of these meals. They're assuming that we're going to have access to water, and that is a serious mistake. The rule I use for these meals is for every meal, 5 bottles of water. So if there is 24 meals in a case A and B, you're looking at 120 bottles of water for just 2 cases of MREs at 5 bottles of water. Remember, you're going to need at least 3 bottles of water during the day, and you might need 2 for the meal, depending on how it's set up. Maybe 1. You're going to need some water for your drink, depending if it comes with a drink, a protein drink, and coffee. And you're going to need some water to activate the FRH. So my rule, 4 to 5 bottles minimum. And that's really not hard to accomplish, considering you could get, I think, a 30 or 40 pack of cases of water, almost 17 ounces, at these big box stores, Walmart, Sam's Club, Costco, whatever, and they're usually about $4 to $5 a case. So cheap insurance to keep with your MREs. Don't forget the water. If you want to carry jugs of water, that makes them even cheaper. But I would think bottled water would be the easiest way to go, because you could kind of allocate each bottle for each person. You hand out the meals, you give them 4 or 5 bottles of water, 3-4 meals a day, 5, 10, 15 bottles of water, and that's enough for each person. And we're not even talking about water for cleaning and other issues. But don't forget about your water. That's often the most overlooked item, which makes these meals essential. You need water. And if you're using meals like the meal cold weathers, they even take more water. So you got to allocate that. Okay. Let's give this breadstick a try on its own, because it's sitting here by itself being ignored. Look at that. Nice and soft. We've got some nice herbs in there. It's got a nice soft chew. Very good breadstick. One of the best ones out of the MREs are always going to be the Italian breadsticks. And you got cheese. You could put cheese on each one. I'm telling you, it's a divine meal once you have cheese on these. All right, well, other than me rambling on, I want to say thank you again to all my subscribers. I hope you guys are enjoying these series that I'm putting out, MRE for Newbies. We get to dive into each menu, see what it looks like, see how the components are set up. This was menu 8, meatballs in marinara sauce. The chocolate chip cookie, strawberry blueberry cobbler with the peanut butter was amazing. We got the meatballs in marinara sauce, which we combined the breadstick with. Always a plus. I would have liked to seen hot sauce in this. That would have really kicked this meal up a notch. Our meat stick, always a welcome. Good protein boost, good flavor, good chew. Our orange drink, always got to keep your electrolytes up. And it's great if you have to drink chemically treated water. We got our cinnamon chewing gum, which I'm going to enjoy once I'm done with this. And that's pretty much it. Stay tuned for our next video, which is going to be menu number 9, beef stew. This one is absolutely amazing. Beef stew is one of my favorites. It's a hearty, heavy, filled meal. This is definitely amazing when it's warm. I'm curious to see what the contents are going to be of the sides. I don't remember offhand, but this one I'm looking forward to, and you guys should too. All right, well, if that's everything, thank you very much. Like, subscribe, throw your comments in there. I also am running a membership. It's not a lot. I believe it's like $2.99. It drops all access to my early videos. So if you're interested in that and you want to support the channel, sign up. I really appreciate it. It helps me continue moving forward with getting more MREs, especially the exotic Italians, the overseas one, Europeans. They're all going to come soon. So stay tuned. Take care.